Skirt, skirt. Told you we always been ready. I don't need people that's petty, that weigh on me heavy while I'm being steady. I need a record with Felly. We get it bouncing like Betty's, I feel like I'm Nelly. Don't bring the beef like a deli, it's leave on a levy. No sleeping on me like I'm Freddy. Chris Breeze, how I do, hit him with the moves. Left hand step back, ballin' like I'm Coos. All faith, God's plan, you just gotta choose. God slaps, nothing left to prove. Y'all gotta leave me alone. Lately I've been in my zone. Told them no cap like I fitted, but lately the flows have been straight off the dome. I feel like I'm MVP, like my name Patty Mahomes. If it ain't about money, don't hit on my phone, cause lately I've been in my zone.
Hello, welcome to the Cowboy Show, hosted by Ben Carey and Nick Gronerad, combining expert human opinions with cutting-edge simulation models to help you arrive at the best picks each week. Inside Edge Community. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's stream. We've got some college basketball action. We don't usually stream on Sundays. In fact, I think this is the first non-NFL Sunday stream we've done all year. Like since baseball season, probably. But I'm excited. We were talking late last night. I was like, should we stream? Like, yeah, let's stream. This is a good slate. I mean, Sundays are usually a little rough. It's usually nice to take the off day from the streams on Sunday. Plus, we had NFL stuff going on for a while on Sundays, so there was like no time to do college basketball streams. But this is a damn good slate today.
Yeah, we would be doing a disservice by not coming on today. And guys, let me know how the audio is sounding on my end. I don't want to be too loud or too quiet, so just let me know. But yeah, the slate is good. We have some really good matchups, and I'm excited to run through it.
Yeah, I'm stoked too. There's 5 ranked teams playing today. There are not 1, not 2, but 3 conference championship games today. A lot of other
3?
So the 3 conference championship games today. I think we have 2 of them that we're going to be running through
2
on the regularly scheduled programming. Those are the Winthrop and Longwood game for the Big South Championship, and the Drake Loyola game for the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. The third one, which I think is today. It actually might not be today. Oh no, it's not today. Never mind. So there's only 2. For some reason, I thought that the Bellarmine-Jacksonville game was today also.
Oh, because I sent you that.
Yeah, but they play, I guess, tomorrow or later on.
Did you see what's happening with that? Did you read through that?
Yeah, so Bellarmine is a very new D1 team. This is only their second year in Division 1. And there's, I think, like a 3-year period where you're ineligible for the NCAA tournament as part of your transition from D2 or D3 up to D1. So even if they win their conference championship, they're not going to be in the NCAA tournament. And yeah, Ben, I think that your mic is a little crackly. Does it have the little muff on it still?
Yeah, I think what the issue is when I unplug it out of my computer and then use it for my phone for TikTok, it like reverts back to like the regular settings. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But
yeah, you could probably like set a set of default settings.
I thought I did, but I don't know. But
yeah, that's something to look into though.
Yeah, I'll play around with it.
Yeah, Kodo, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Welcome. You literally just typed your first message in the chat, said "Let's go" or "Thank you, let's fucking go," and then instantly subbed. Appreciate that very much.
It's the vibes we need, you know.
So, for anybody who is new to the stream, here is how they work. So we have 5 categories that you can see listed out on the left-hand side of your screen. For each of the first 4 categories, we have picked out a game that fits into that category. It is 4 games that are interesting for 4 different reasons. Not necessarily our top bets, but definitely some games to watch, some games that a lot of people will be interested in, and some games to spark some discussion. I will have my lean for the game. Ben will have his lean for the game. And you guys, as the collective chat, will have the ability to vote on your lean for that game as well. The last category is our best bets. This is where our actual money is. I have my favorite bet of the day. Ben has his favorite bet of the day. And once again, you as the chat will have the opportunity to get your voice heard. You can list out your favorite picks. I'll throw 5 of them into a poll, and we can see where you guys are at. So a question about that Jacksonville game. So I actually think that it's not Jacksonville that makes the tourney if Bellarmine beats Jacksonville. I think it's Jacksonville State.
Yes, that's correct. Since they... Yeah, I don't quite understand.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know 100% like exactly what and why. So I don't want to spout like I know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think it's Jacksonville State that for whatever reason.
Ask taking the points. He's that's his kind of like I'm to the Big Sky as he is to the is it the ASUN?
The ASUN.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because he didn't go to the ASUN. He just loves the ASUN.
I know.
He went
I'm always
to
like
Central Florida.
Yeah. What's your conference, Nick? If you had to pick your like baby.
If I had to pick my conference, I mean, it's gonna starting next year. It's gonna be the Fun Belt.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, it was the CAA, but then JMU left, so now it's gonna be the Sun Belt.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun times in the Fun Belt. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the games with category number 1.
Bubble bursters.
About to bubble, baby. About to bubble, baby.
So category number 1 today is bubble bursters, where we take a look at a team who is not necessarily in a win and they're in situation, but is probably in a lose and they're out situation. And the team that we're looking at today is the Memphis Tigers. So Memphis has an opportunity, actually probably to play themselves into the tournament with a win in this game. They are hosting 14th ranked Houston. In this game, Memphis, whose bubble might be bursting, is 2.5-point underdogs at home. Over under in this game is set at 137.5. Odds coming to you courtesy of our good friends at the Superbook. Ben, do you think that Memphis pulls off the win, or do you think that they get their bubble popped?
So first and foremost, Houston has a few players out. Is that correct?
Let's take a look. I mean, that would probably explain why the spread is.
Yeah, I was on Twitter and I saw someone say, well, Houston has two of their guards out.
Yeah, I see Sasser's out for the season. I think that's pretty new news.
That's who they're... Yeah.
Yeah, no, Sasser's been out forever. He's only played 12 games this year.
No, Sasser's been out, but is there someone else too?
So I'm seeing... nothing new.
Okay.
I mean, guys... Oh, yeah. For some reason, I thought that said February 25th. Yeah, Sasser's been out since December 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not seeing anybody new on the injury report for Houston. Although, chat, if that's wrong, please let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this time it's vital to know some of that, as always, I guess. But just wanted to cover the bases there. So I'm going to still lean with Houston, Nick. I am. And Traymon Mark is out.
Yeah, I think he's been out.
Yeah, I think he's been out, but
yeah, he's only played 7 games this year. He hasn't played since December.
Yeah, he's been out. So as of late, Memphis has turned it on, right? I think end of January we were talking about Memphis as being like this like utter disappointment, and if you remember, Penny Hardaway came out and he was like, "I don't have my guys, like get off our backs," like. And, you know, he was probably onto something. Maybe he shouldn't have said that publicly. But, hey, sometimes things work for teams. It is what it is. But, yeah, they've been on a hot streak. I think they won 9 out of their last 10. and they did beat Houston by 10 in the last matchup on the road. So I think this is like an interesting line, but I'm going to have to go with Houston here. I think Houston's the better team. Memphis is playing good basketball, but this is just one of those games for me I'm not super confident on because I think it is going to be tied down to the wire, but I'm going to lean with Houston here.
Yeah, I think that I'm with you on this. I think that I like Houston to cover as well. So just a quick clarification. So Houston is missing a couple guys who get good minutes if they're healthy in Traymond Mark and Marcus Sasser, but both of those guys have been out for 2+ months. I mean, I think Mark, he's been out since it was still 2021. So I think that's it's not like new news. It's the way that Houston has been playing recently. Those injuries are already reflected in that performance.
And Nick, real quick to that point, I think it's always important, right? Even if good players are out, it's about who's filling in. Is a team deep? And, teams like Houston, teams like Memphis, they're going to be deeper, right? Teams like, I don't know, Longwood, I'm just going to use them for example. If their second best player's out, it's less likely there's like a star or a very talented guy coming in off the bench. So
yeah,
that's always important to note.
Exactly. It's the opportunity cost for those minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So all of that said, this Memphis team is playing well. I mean, I think in the middle of the season, it would have been surprising to even call them a bubble team. They looked like they were just out. But they've been on a run. I still, though, I think that this Houston team is just too good. I'm not really concerned that Memphis beat them last time. I mean, it was a really even game. It was tight up until free throws in the last minute took it up to 10 points for Memphis. So I think getting Houston at only 2.5 in a conference game, I have to take it.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I'll say about this game, I think the recipe for success for Memphis is going to be their fast break offense.
Yeah, I was going to say forcing turnovers.
Yeah, that's
the key.
Yeah, I would say the defensive side. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if Memphis can run the court, they're going to be in a good position because Houston's defense is one of the best in college basketball, and I think a lot of that is them just getting back on defense and not allowing transition points. And then, like Nick said, Memphis can create turnovers. When Memphis is on defense, that's going to be vital for them too.
Yeah. So I think for me, the keys to this game, for Houston, the most important thing for them is to kind of not get bogged down taking 30 seconds on every possession. That's how they take bad shots, turn the ball over.
Yeah.
It's Houston and Memphis play each other in the NBA today. That's hilarious.
It wouldn't be the first time I've mixed up things or at least confused people.
What a coincidence.
People are like, wait, Penny Hardaway? Haven't heard his name talking about NBA since the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's funny.
And I think on the defensive end, the key for Houston is to just play disciplined. The reason that they lost that game against Memphis last time is because Memphis took 19 free throws and made 18 of them. The two teams shot basically identically from the floor. The difference was just Memphis getting to the line and then hitting those shots. So I think if Memphis can do that successfully or get fast break points, which is a nice alternative to getting to the line, I think that's how Memphis would win this. So real quick, what are your thoughts on the total? So again, sitting at 137.5. I see some people in chat like the under quite a bit. Some people like the over quite a bit.
I think if you're leaning Houston to cover, I think you need to lean to the under. And I think if you want an over, well, I can see the game going over either way, actually. I'm not sure.
I actually kind of disagree with that. I think that for Memphis, for Houston to win, they need to keep the game out of the half court. For Houston. Because that's how they lose. That's how they get into foul trouble on defense, is being forced to play half court defense. And that's how they turn the ball over and take bad shots on offense, is by taking 30 seconds on every offensive possession. I really do think that Houston's key to victory here is upping the tempo and keeping the game more in transition.
I guess so. Maybe I haven't watched Houston enough to identify that. I guess I was coming from the angle that Memphis wants to control the tempo from just speeding the ball up. So maybe the over is the play. Maybe that's what we're kind of getting at naturally on stream here. And real quick, I am not betting this game. No.
Yeah, I am actually going to throw a unit on Houston. I'm logging into my account secretly right now. So I do think this is going to be a close game. The model has Houston by 4.2, and the total at 138.4. So slight lean towards Houston, very slight lean towards the over. I think it'll be a close game. I think there's going to be a lot of free throws. So Houston for me, plus the over. Chat, in your guys' poll, you guys love Houston here. So 24 votes on Houston to cover compared to only 11 on Memphis. I mean, it does seem a little square to take Houston, but that's okay.
That's all right. I mean, I've had quite a few square picks the last few days, and they've all hit. So
yeah, like North Carolina yesterday. Just kidding.
Well,
it was like that was whatever. What's the opposite of a square?
Circle.
All right, so a couple comments in the chat that I want to address. Houston team total is interesting. I agree. So I actually think that might be. I'm gonna be like kind of secretly deliberating here what exactly I want to place on this game. But I do think that the Houston team total, especially at 69.5 as opposed to a 70, looks potentially appetizing. A Square Sharp says, so Houston is firmly in, but Memphis is not. Hungry Dogs run faster? Possibly. I mean, I also think that there's a lot to say for the motivation factor for Houston keeping their big conference rival out.
Yeah, and a revenge spot, too.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelvin Sampson, like, one of the OGs in college basketball, like, he understands the importance of seeding and late games and momentum, so I think in this matchup, not as much as maybe if it was a younger coach, and maybe that's me speculating, but just sharing that.
Mm-hmm. So somebody asked, how can you share this with somebody? Yeah, so with the link. I think Cooper posted the link. It's just twitch.tv/cap_wise is the link to the Twitch channel. Dilberto's on the over. Greg Peterson's on the over. All of that is nice. Somebody asked about first half. I don't want to touch first half. Velocity asked, what is a good bankroll to start with? I think that the answer to that question is an amount that you can afford to lose. Is the correct bankroll to start with. It doesn't really matter if you're talking about hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or tens of dollars. Just an amount of money that is money that you're okay losing just in the process of getting familiar with betting and different types of bets and bankroll management and controlling your emotions around not chasing, not throwing your entire bankroll on one bet, that kind of thing.
I think I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah, you're good. I think that those are all important lessons to learn, and you kind of are inherently going to lose money doing it. I mean, I was that way. I know Ben was that way. Like I blew through a couple $1,000s just like when I first started betting, just being not smart about how I allotted my money. Through chasing bets, getting like upset that I lost a couple in a row, and then throwing 5 units on something, and then that loses 2, and then you have to deposit again. Like that's, I think those are mistakes that a lot of people know that they will make, but you kind of can't be told that you're going to make them. I think that you have to actually make them in order to really, really learn. And then once you're comfortable with your emotions and comfortable with your process, then you can increase your unit size and really start gambling with money that, again, you never want to be gambling with money that you can't afford to lose. But that's kind of when it's time to become comfortable throwing around some more coin.
Yep.
And yeah, I really do think that the most important thing is just controlling your emotions and the way that impacts the way that you control your bankroll. Alrighty. So let's go ahead now and move along to category number 2.
Ticket punchers.
She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care.
So category number 2 is ticket punchers, where we're going to focus on a conference championship game. We have 2 teams. The winner of this game will be on your bracket in March, probably as a 15 seed. The game that we're looking at today is the Big South Conference Championship game between Winthrop and Longwood. So Longwood, number one seed in the regular season in the Big South Conference. They went 15-1 in conference play. This is probably a team that nobody knows unless you've actually looked, that has 25 wins on the season. That's probably the best season in the history of the Longwood Lancers. Their opponent, Winthrop, number 2 seed in the Big South, sitting at a very respectable 23-8, 14-2 overall, or 14-2 in the conference. This is going to be a good game.
Yeah, it is.
So Winthrop has kind of historically been the power team in the Big South. This is a team that's been in the NCAA tournament many, many times over the last few years, as probably all the way up to a 12 seed. I think that they've been. I don't think that the winner of this game is going to be seeded that high. I think we're looking at more like a 14 or 15 this year. But don't let that diminish the fact that there's a lot of talent on these teams. So in this game, Winthrop is favored by 2.5. Over-under sitting at 140.5. And real quick, Ben, I'll let you start unless you want me to start. These 2 teams did meet once earlier this year. It was at Longwood, and Longwood won that game by 4 as 3-point favorites. So Ben, which team is going to punch their ticket to the big dance today?
So you made the point about Winthrop and them being, I guess we could call them a powerhouse over the years in the Big South. Mm-hmm. But that was with Pat Kelsey, head coach. And he's now the head coach at College of Charleston. So I guess by like recognition standards of the name, yes, Winthrop. Right. They've been to the tournament. But this is a new head coach for Winthrop with Mark Prosser, and I kind of feel like in this matchup, a lot of people, and maybe the line is indicative of this, is just naturally kind of leaning to the name recognition of Winthrop. And you kind of made the point, like Longwood, no one's really heard that name in a while, maybe all season. But they're a damn good team in this conference, and they beat Winthrop earlier in the season. So I'm gonna go with Longwood, Nick. I think Longwood gets the job done, and yeah, I think they're gonna win this game outright.
All right, so it's a Longwood.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying there with Winthrop and Longwood?
Yeah, so I have a couple of points that I want to make on that. getting your lean in real quick. So this Winthrop program has been good beyond just Pat Kelsey. I think that the two coaches that they had before him also made multiple NCAA tournament appearances with Winthrop. It is a program that is good beyond any one coach. Also, Mark Prosser, their head coach, is I think a future star in the coaching ranks. I
think the second point you make is more of an argument than the first, because even if they're wagging over the years, it's still, the last two times they made the tournament was under Kelsey, and then before that was all the way back to 2010. So
yeah, I was kind of surprised that they hadn't made more tournaments recently. I thought that they had.
Yeah.
So also they have really good players on their team. Like their leading scorer, DJ Burns, is a former top 50 recruit at Tennessee who transferred away from that program. So I mean, there's legitimate pedigree on the roster as well. Mm-hmm. All that said, I like Longwood today as well. I think that this team is just too good. I mean, I've been a big Winthrop fan for several years. Their team this year, they just have too many turnover issues. They don't have a good on-ball guard this year. And it's caused a lot of problems. It's caused a team that usually plays really fast, or historically has liked to play really fast, and put up a lot of points, to play kind of slower, closer, sluggish games against a lot of teams. And I think that Longwood, with just the depth that they have at guard and the shooting talent that they have, is going to take advantage of those turnovers and win this game.
Mm-hmm. You know who they're missing, Nick?
Who missing?
They're missing Chandler Valdrin.
Chandler, yeah, from last
year.
Or
Valdine, not Valdrin.
Valdrin.
It's Valdrin, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing professional basketball somewhere.
Yeah, he was fun to watch.
You know who else they're missing?
Oh,
from last year's teams? Adonis Arms.
Yeah,
who's now starting at Texas Tech.
Yep.
I mean,
God, they would have a squad right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had a squad last year. I mean, they had a guy who's playing pro ball. They had a guy who's now starting for a top 15, 20 team in the country. They have another guy, DJ Burns, who's a former top 50 recruit. I mean, there's a ton of talent going through this Winthrop program. Mm-hmm. So the model in this game actually does have Longwood winning. As far as the total is concerned, I have the total going under. I think that the model has loved Winthrop unders all year. Also, I will say in conference tournament time, I'm not betting any unders. I think that teams approach the foul game just kind of systematically different in these games, because the opportunity cost to not fouling is so high because your season's over. So So we're seeing a lot of teams starting the foul game earlier on in the game, plus fouling down more points.
Nick, I was watching Portland Santa Clara last night. Portland's down 20 points and they're literally playing the foul game. Maybe that's an extreme, but it's an epitome of what you see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I want absolutely nothing to do with unders in conference tournaments. I don't necessarily want to be taking a lot of overs either. So chat, poll results for this game came in. A lot less votes on this one than the previous one. 14 votes for Longwood compared to 11 for Winthrop. So we have consensus. Everybody likes the Longwood.
Hey, Nick, one way to avoid late game fouls? Total-wise?
What?
First half totals.
That's true.
It is.
So somebody asked whoever wins this game is in the tournament. That is correct. Winner of this game will be the second team to clinch a spot in March Madness after Murray State did yesterday. Serious question. Do you guys like betting round robins as opposed to, say, a 5-team parlay. So so round robins, as far as a risk versus reward factor, for anybody who doesn't, I'm gonna back up for a second. So for anybody who doesn't know, a round robin is you do a bunch of little parlays. So say you have a 3-team parlay that you want to make. It's just an easier example with 3 teams. A round robin is you split your bet into a third of it on a parlay of the first 2 teams, a third of it into a parlay on the second 2 teams, and a third of it into a parlay on the first team and the third team. And you can add on other complicated stuff, but that's kind of the gist. So risk-wise, it's kind of in between a standard parlay and straight bets. I would say that the only time I would consider doing a round robin is if you have a bunch of plus money plays that you're considering parlaying. I think that's kind of the way that you get it to be profitable, even with like you can afford an extra loss type of deal. So I think that's the scenario where I would consider it. Although I typically don't bet round robins. I typically either bet straights or just take a parlay.
So Nick, with a 3-team parlay to a 4-team parlay, that's where the house edge kind of increases. It's built in. I'm curious with the round robin, and I actually don't know this answer. Is that similar? Like if you were to play a 3-team round robin to a 4-team, does the house increase its edge as it does with the parlay?
I don't know.
I need to look into that.
When you say increasing edge, are you talking like a little extra vig?
Yeah, the vig. So the house edge percentage-wise increases from a 2 to 3. It's the same as if it were a 1 to 2 to 3, and then at 3 to 4, the built-in house edge goes up, and then it goes up from 5 to 6 to 7, like on not exponential, but it's disproportional, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious about that. But round robins are fun. I mean, it's one of those things. Like for me, I just don't dabble in that a lot.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I'm gonna be risky, I'd rather just take a parlay.
And guys, these books are offering a lot of free bets. Put them on parlays.
Yes, that's the time to do parlays. Like 2 days ago, Caesars gave me $100 free bet, and I put it on like an 8-leg plus 1,500 parlay, and it smacked.
We better get to this next game because it starts in 15 minutes. So.
Yeah.
And 20.
Yeah. It's a good conversation though.
No, it is, and I think we'll be talking more about this as we go through March Madness too. So.
All right, so let's move along now to category number 3.
Payback game.
Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. Whoa.
Robbed you in your city and you told. Tory from the 6, you hating on him, Lord knows.
I'm out here looking for revenge.
So category number 3 is the revenge game. And in this game, we're looking at what I think is one of the more interesting games on the slate today, which is the game between Penn State and Rutgers. So Rutgers is at home, at the rack, where
Say no more.
It seems like they've been beating anybody and everybody.
So move on. Say no more. We already know.
They're hosting a Penn State team that is, I mean, they're not good. They're sitting at 12-15 overall, 7-12 in the conference. But I actually think that's overperforming. I think it's been a kind of good season relative to expectations for Penn State. I see Bryce in the chat. I know you're a Penn State guy. I'd be curious if you agree on that. It's kind of been a better than expected, not a good season, but a better than expected season. For Penn State.
NIT, good NIT type of year.
Oh no, they're definitely not going to be in the NIT. They have.
I guess they're 12-15.
They're 12-15. They're not going to be in the postseason. There's
Wait,
no shot.
You sure about that? You have to have a winning record, right?
Well, but I mean, like the NIT has 32 spots, and they guarantee bids to every regular season conference champion that doesn't make March Madness.
Well, you were hyping them up like they were going to make the NIT.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's kind of the future is bright type of thing.
That's fair.
So these two teams played earlier this year. They played at Penn State, and Penn State destroyed Rutgers. They beat them 66-49. Ben, do you think that Rutgers, in the second game that these two teams have played this year, as 6-point favorites at home, gets their revenge against Penn State?
Okay, so we have a lot of things working in Rutgers' favor here. They're at home, one of the best home court advantages in college basketball. That's one. Two, I believe it's senior day. 3, it's a revenge spot. And 4, a loss would probably put Rutgers on the bubble if they aren't already on the bubble.
Yeah, this is not a game that will look good on Rutgers' resume.
No,
Like their whole MO is being the team that beats everybody at home.
Yeah, if you lose to a Penn State last game of the regular season at home, now you're coming into the Big Ten tournament needing to win 3 games and get into the finals at least. So, if I were Krabs, I would just say I'm on Penn State at this point. This line makes no sense. But
yeah, no, Krabs. I think somebody in the chat already said Krabs is on Penn State.
Oh, no way. Yeah. There's no way I could touch Penn State here. You kidding me? No way. I'm not going to force that and try to get cute. I think Rutgers, and again, I'm close to the most anti-parlay guy you'll get. But a Rutgers money line, maybe even a standalone money line. I know it's juiced up to -225, -240 in some spots, but I kind of like the value for Rutgers to win. Now, I do think they cover, but you could throw that into another 2-teamer or so. But yeah, Rutgers, Nick, I think they win by 6 or 7, but I think it's going to be close, but I think they cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Rutgers here as well. So there's a lot of arguments, air quotes arguments, that people have been making for Penn State. Like, 99% of the money is on Rutgers. It's got to be Penn State. Or
That's your only argument.
Like, this line is so sketch, it has to be Penn State. This is the second time this year I've asked this question. Can somebody give me a basketball reason, an on-the-court reason why Penn State will cover this game or win this game? That's what I want to know. I understand that the line is sketch. I understand that 99% of the bets are on Rutgers. What's the basketball reason for Penn State? Mm-hmm. Every actual basketball reason points to Rutgers. I have to take Rutgers.
Yeah.
What was the other game that I said that about? It was Florida State playing somebody.
I know it won in your favor.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't it a Pitt game? No, it would have been Pitt. It would have been.
It was whoever they played immediately after.
Yeah. It was Louisville. It was that Louisville game. Was it Louisville, Miami?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. And then
it was
like all the people like, oh, it's sketch. Take it's a trap. Take Louisville. Yeah, we're like 99% of the bets are on Miami. Take Louisville. What's the basketball reason?
I want to say one thing. If you think that if you look at this and you think it's sketch, just don't bet the other side. Stay away. Like it's fine to stay away from a game that's sketched and then try to bet the other side, unless you like really are dying for action. But I think sometimes I do a good job of this. I used to suck at it, but like when I see a line where I'm like, this really sketches me out, I just stay away. I don't try to get cute with it, because then if you're on the wrong side, now your pants are down, and then that's not good. But I actually don't think this line is sketch, Nick. I feel fine about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is sketch either. I think that 6 is a pretty appropriate number. I mean, I locked this in at 5.5 last night for Rutgers.
Yeah.
but at 6, I still like it. Okay, so Ryan has an actual answer here. So here's Penn State fan. Penn State beat them on the glass 41-33 last time out. That they did. Sam Sessions had a good night, going 7 of 10 from the floor.
Thank you.
3 players in double digits for Penn State. 4. No, they actually had 4 players in double digits.
Thank you. See, that's good. I like that stuff.
Bovada has an offline here.
What do you mean?
They have Bovada has Rutgers minus 1.5 at minus 160. That's a fantastic value. With the money line sitting at minus 240.
Absolutely.
I think that's the one to slam.
Hold on, I'm looking at one thing real quick. Okay, so thank you. Who is that? Who brought that up in the chat?
Purely locks.
Thank you for that, because I'm looking at just Penn State, Rutgers in the rebounding throughout the season. I wouldn't say that was an outlier for them. Like, that was one of their lower performing rebound, and they've had a few. But the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of 10 games, they have won the rebounding battle.
Yeah.
Or at least they're trending upwards, because the way I'm looking at it. So what I'm getting at, Nick, is was there something at that point in the season that they maybe fundamentally turned around? And I know I heard you say something on another stream where I wasn't on about there's not much you can do about rebounding if you don't have the height. I actually disagree with that. We don't have to get into that now, but I will bring that up at some point.
Alrighty.
Do you disagree with me?
No, I don't disagree, and I also think that there's not like a huge height mismatch here. But I think the rebounding battle should be pretty even.
Yeah.
In this game, part of the reason why Penn State out-rebounded them is just because Rutgers missed more shots.
Yeah. There's a reason. I'll put it this way. There's a reason why Charles Barkley and Dennis Rodman were like 2 of the best rebounders in the NBA, and it's not because they were 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll leave it there.
Let's go ahead and meant first half alt line. I see. Yeah, I think that feels about right. I'd honestly rather just take the full game.
Is this Clarence from Discord?
Yeah, this is Clarence from Discord.
What's up, dude? IUPUI, baby.
IUPUI better.
Yep.
Okay, are you ready for category number 4, Ben?
I am.
All right, let's get it.
Game of the day.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star.
So our game of the day today is coming to you from the Missouri Valley Conference. We have another conference championship game. We have Loyola Chicago, everybody's favorite mid-major team because of Sister Jean, going up against Drake. So as it stands right now, Loyola sitting at 24-7, Drake sitting at 24-9. Both teams went 13-5 in conference play. Loyola, in ESPN's bracketology, is currently listed as the last team on the last 4 in. So this is a team that has a little bit of a bubble argument if they don't win this game. Drake, despite having a very similar record, is definitely on the wrong side of the bubble at this point. So I think this is really a win and you're in, a lose and you go home type of game. I think that if Loyola loses to Drake here, I don't think that they get in.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Nick. I think they're a great team, but resume-wise, this loss would just send them to the NIT.
Yeah, the Missouri Valley Conference is, I think they're a 1-bid league this year, which is kind of sad because they have like 5 teams that would fit in very nicely in like the 13 to 14 seed range.
Yeah.
But you don't get at-large bids if that's where you're going to be.
Like, for example, Northern Iowa is a really decent team, but they could not make shots. And can I just jump into the game, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
So real quick.
Go ahead.
Loyola, 5-point favorites. Over-under set at 131.5. Ben, what are your thoughts?
So here are my thoughts. I watched most of the Northern Iowa Loyola Chicago game, and we know historically in the season that Loyola is a very sound defensive basketball team. But I will say that Northern Iowa game on Saturday, it was a lot of missed shots. Like, I'm talking missed layups by AJ Green, missed open threes. There were a lot of contested threes, don't get me wrong. But there were a lot of just weird missed gimmies in the paint. Like, AJ Green literally whiffed on a layup. And he's been pretty solid all season. But the defense, don't get me wrong, they still brought their defense. I mean, 43 to 66 is a little misleading, but I still think that with Drew Valentine, they're going to come in hyper-focused and ready to go in this one. From the jump. And I'm going to have to go with Loyola, Nick. Loyola. I'm going to have to go with Sister Jean in March. And also, Nick, did you know that Drew Valentine is 30 years old? That's insane to me. I think he's got to be the youngest head coach in college basketball. It's extremely young. 30? That's me out there.
I think Nicholls State has a younger head coach.
Oh.
I think he was 27 last year, which means he's 28 this year.
Could you imagine me going out there as a head coach?
Yeah, I could. I think some teams would be better for it.
Memphis,
yeah.
Ooh. Shots fired. Michigan? No.
Yeah.
Could you imagine me punching other head coaches in the handshake line?
I could see it.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go Loyola and Nick. I'm gonna leave it there because best bet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that.
Also, my best bet starts in 5 minutes. So we need to get through this.
Oh, go. Oh,
pretty fast.
Okay.
But I'm on the opposite side here. We've had consistency. We've literally all three things that we've had so far has been consensus. You, me, and the chat. All lit alignment. But I'm taking Drake here. I think that 5 is just too many points here. I think so. This Drake team beat Loyola both times they played this year. Mm-hmm. Is it hard to beat a team 3 times? Yes, of course it is. Would I still rather be on the side of the team that won the first 2, especially to cover 5? Absolutely. I think this Drake team just knows how to beat Loyola. And let us not forget, Drake was an NCAA tournament team last year and didn't really lose anybody from that team. They had a couple injuries down the stretch last year. But this is like the same team that was on pace to be an 8 seed probably last year before some injuries. Mm-hmm. We did, Ben, you remember we did our preseason talk with Chase? You remember who my mid-major team that I liked was?
It was Drake, right?
It was Drake. And this is my culmination. I either get to go and clip that and say, wow, look at Drake. Or I get to pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Drake plus the points here. And I'm probably bet-wise not going to bet Drake plus 5. But I will use my least favorite word and sprinkle on Drake moneyline. Probably half a unit on Drake moneyline. So the poll is ready. Real quick, I want to say my favorite bet today, because it starts in 3 minutes, and it's Rutgers. We talked about it already. I'm not going to go into it anymore. My favorite bet today is Rutgers to cover 6 against Penn State. Ben, does your favorite bet also start in 3 minutes?
No, mine is at noon noon Mountain Time, 2 Eastern. So I'm
Gotcha.
good. We can roll the tape.
Yeah. So chat's favorite bet was the over in this Loyola and Drake game. So 15 votes on the over compared to 10 on the under. We had 13 votes on Drake compared to 12 on Loyola. So extremely close all around. This is going to be a wonderful game. All right. So chat. In order to make a poll for your favorite bets, I need to know what your favorite bets are. So take a minute or two. Type out your favorite bets today. If you like a spread, give me the team that you like and the number that the spread is at. If you like a total, give me the 2 teams and the number that the total is at. And if you like a money line, give me the team that you are on and the price of the money line. Also, don't worry if these games start in a minute. I think that's fine. We can still put them up in the poll. I'm going to play the category intro real quick.
Big Brain plays.
Come on. Think. Brain blast!
And let's see what we've got. So I see a couple UNC Wilmingtons. I figured that would be a popular one. I see a couple UMBCs. I did not think that would be a popular one. A couple of Houstons. You guys are gonna make this easy. Everyone's on the same stuff. So we've got a Houston minus 2.5. We've got UMBC minus 2.5. We've got UNC Wilmington minus 4. We've got the over in the Iowa-Illinois game. If there was no conference championship games today, that would have been the game of the day. So we haven't talked about that. We can touch on that in a little bit. And I need one more. Although I think that these are going to be the popular ones.
Did you say the Illinois Iowa over?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 3 times.
Yeah.
Back to back.
So I see opposite choices in the Tulsa Central Florida game, which is kind of interesting. Let's go with let's go Navy. Patriots.
Oh, I see it up there.
semifinals.
I was like, where did that come from? But I see it. I see it in chat.
All right. So poll is up. Take your time and vote. But Ben, what is your favorite play today?
So, Nick, you're either gonna love this one or hate it. I think chat's either gonna love. I feel like there's no in between on this one, which I'm okay with. Right? Sometimes those are the best ones. Right? It's either like I'm not tailing him or fuck yeah, let's do it. So, my best bet, Nick, is gonna be a first half under in Loyola Drake, 60.5, under 60.5.
Why?
I just wanted to see your reaction first. Here's why. There's a few reasons. One, I like the full game under. I do. But you alluded to this point earlier, talking about another game. Teams will extend the game more so than they will in other opportunities in the regular season, with it being the last game potentially of the year, or with the stakes higher, right, to go to March Madness and win your conference. So I'm gonna eliminate that by playing first half under. Now, obviously, 60.5 is it's pretty low,
This
right?
is actually
Like,
sitting at 61 on Superbook, so you get
Ooh.
the push
Perfect.
at 61.
Perfect, and it's probably gonna hit that. I mean, with these first half totals, Nick, like oh my gosh, every half point's even more, right? Like it's less time, and I'll take every point I can get. The other big thing with this, Nick, this is a little bit of like the speculation where some people could be like, all right, that's bullshit, or you're like, all right, he's onto something. I've been watching most of the games in this tournament, Arch Madness, out in St. Louis. The refs have been calling all the games pretty consistent. Now, I don't think it's the same crews, and I didn't like look up what crews reffing, but they are not calling a lot of ticky-tack fouls. And you could say, like, Ben, you're starting to wear like a tin hat, like you're getting a little crazy with this, but I think it makes a lot of sense because Arch Madness puts a lot of pride into its conference tournament. They brand the shit out of it, Arch Madness. They do more with that conference tournament than a lot of other conferences do. And the last thing they want is for the refs to take something away from the game. And watching the games already in this year's tournament, they're not blowing the whistle a lot. It has to be pretty egregious. So I feel okay in the first half with a low total like 61. And I also love the defense of Loyola, of course. And I think Drake's going to be able to make stops in that first half. And also, the Ramblers play at a very slow pace, too. So all those things combined, I'm going with that under, Nick.
Alrighty. And with this being a first half bet, I mean, there's definitely the possibility for you to hit your first half under and for chat to hit their full game over that they voted for.
Let's see. That's not in the poll, is it?
No, but in the Loyola Drake game, that's what they voted for.
Oh, I gotcha. Sorry, I was looking at the poll. Oh yeah, there's absolutely an opportunity. I mean, I wouldn't be crazy enough to bet both, but
You'd probably get pretty cool odds on that.
if it would,
If you could do a double.
yeah, I wish they would let you do that. Like, give you like increased odds.
Yeah. Like first half under, full game over, same game parlay type of deal.
Also, Nick, the last thing with the Arch Madness is the rims, but it's their third game for both teams, so maybe they figured it out.
Yeah. So Memphis is up 4-0.
Stop the count.
Stop the count. Or live bet Houston.
Yep.
If they were plus money, I would.
Nick, that would be like if there were two outs in the top of the first. Guys, stop the count.
Stop the count.
Game is over.
So let's see where chat is at today. That is interesting. You guys like the Iowa-Illinois over 154.5.
Who's on that?
Yeah, 11 people are on that.
Well, did someone give that out?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe not.
41% of the vote.
I guess it's a big game, so it's not like it's a random, like, I don't know, Delaware Drexel under, you know.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody who... Oh, this is G Unit's favorite play of the day?
See, I'm catching on to you, chat.
I feel like this
can't
happens
fool
every
me.
day now. It's just like G Unit's favorite play is the one that chat votes for. You guys gotta... You know what, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start finding G Unit's play of the day ahead of time.
Is that a category?
And just exclude that from the poll.
Nick, I was thinking, like, we just make a category for G Unit, and then we discuss if we're fading him or tailing him, and then the G Unit.
That would be funny.
I bet G Unit would come on here.
G Unit has it at 160. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
It's two teams that score a lot of points.
3-0 Penn State.
It's chalked. It actually might be 4-0. Oh no, they've They had the opportunity for a 4-point play.
Three.
It's chalked. It's the game is going to be a push. It's chalked. Neither team can separate themselves.
Oh yeah, plenty of songs for
Yeah,
that segment.
there's the entire G Unit catalog to start with.
Put a little Lloyd Banks on there. What you know about Lloyd Banks, Nick?
Absolutely nothing.
Good guy. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about Iowa and Illinois. I don't have a lot of opinions on it, but
So I like Iowa. It's a road Big Ten team, but I think at 4.5, at plus 4.5, you have kind of enough, like enough wiggle room basically. Mm-hmm. I think this Iowa team is really, really good. They're, I would say, potentially the most underrated team in the country right now.
yeah.
I'm really curious to see what kind of seed they're gonna get.
Probably a decent one, because I think the Big Ten teams get so much preferential treatment seeding wise.
Yeah, that sounds
Think
like,
about all the years
that
Wisconsin
sounds like
has
something
got.
somebody from west of the Mississippi would say.
I mean, we look at the Big Ten as kind of like in the middle. It's more like SEC. We're like, ugh, Bama.
Yeah,
I guess Kentucky for basketball. But I was just gonna say Wisconsin. Over the years, I mean, people would be like, "Oh, I think we're gonna get a 5-6 seed," and they get like a 3. But hey,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Tis what it is. What about OSU Michigan? Big football rivalry, not so much a big basketball rivalry. Do they hate each other in basketball the same way that they do in football?
No, I mean not the same, but they just hate each other like as a school, like.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're as intense during the game. Maybe the game doesn't mean as much, but they still don't like each other.
Yeah. So I have Ohio State by 3.9. I think with the spread at 4, that's a definite stay away spot for me. I have the game going under by a couple points, but again, I don't want to be touching any unders. Oh, I guess it's not conference tournament play, but still,
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that under.
Nick, can you imagine the hate going to all sports like cross country? There's like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like,
Yeah, like the cross country athletes like will trip each other.
did you see the TikTok I made about the Auburn Alabama gymnastics? And the Alabama girl fell like on her vault, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, if this was college football, the fans would be like in their face, yeah. But they were like, oh,
Sounds like a sound effect from a Wii Sports game.
oh.
Aww.
When you gutter
Wii
gutter
Sports-
ball,
yeah. Or like Wii Sports Golf when you hit it in the water.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I could have landed that one.
There's only 2 backflips
Yeah. Thoughts on that game, Nick?
on Michigan State, Maryland. And I will also address the CAA question and the New Hampshire question. MSU and Maryland. I think I like Michigan State at home in this game. Not a crazy lean for me. I didn't bet it. I'm not going to bet it. I think 6 is kind of in that realm where it could get a little sketch if Maryland keeps it close, which they have been. Maryland has been playing really well. But I would lean Michigan State. CAA today. I'm very sad that my Dukes aren't playing, but that's the way it works. So, favorite for the conference. I mean, Towson kind of has to, I think, be the favorite. I will say I'm a big fan of Delaware as well.
I know why you are, Nick.
Why?
because Joe Flacco brought you guys to Super Bowl in Baltimore, and he went there.
Yeah, he did. No, I'm a big Dylan Painter fan. Is why I like this Delaware team so much. I think that a lot of the teams in the CAA, they don't have great bigs. I mean, it's a very guard-dominant conference. Mm-hmm. And Dylan Painter as a real inside-outside threat on Delaware is kind of unique. He missed some time earlier this year, and I think that Delaware missed a bunch of games, or like lost several games that he was out. But they've been playing really well now that he's back. They also have Jameer Nelson Jr., which is kind of cool. He's their actual leading scorer.
Mm-hmm. I was just looking up real quick if I have a dark horse. It's actually a pretty decent conference, like at the top. Sneakily, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're outstanding, but like,
you want to hear a fun fact?
What's up?
So the CAA, I think going back to like 2006 or 2005, has put more unique schools into the Final Four than the Pac-12 has.
Wow. So is that one?
Well, I think the Pac-12 is at 1 with UCLA.
And then how many for the CAA?
2.
And
neither of them play in the CAA anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was George Mason and VCU.
Gotcha.
But back in the day, the CAA was like a 2 or 3 bid conference.
Mm-hmm.
With those two schools, and Old Dominion had a solid basketball program. It's kind of sad that the conference is kind of falling apart, but
UNC Wilmington had a Sweet 16 run, right?
Yeah. Maybe.
No, maybe not.
I don't know.
Am I getting confused with another UNC? Oh, I'm thinking of Greensboro, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are the early scores right now?
Memphis is up 11-4.
Okay.
Rutgers is up 9-5.
Okay.
Towson is beating Northeastern 2-0 at the under 16 TV timeout.
So Nick, they're on pace to win that game.
Like
50-0.
20-0.
20. Oh yeah, it's 16, huh?
Longwood is beating Winthrop 10-4.
Okay.
I also I snuck in a unit on Longwood money line as we were streaming.
I'm telling you, Longwood, Nick, they're on a mission right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that Morehead State lost last night, because then we would have had the possibility for the Longwood Morehead Oral NCAA tournament first round upset parlay.
And added Dixie State and Fairleigh Dickinson.
Mm-hmm. Dixie State's I don't think they're eligible.
Ah, darn.
They're in the same boat as Bellarmine.
We'll have to wait on that one.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have to wait anyways at this point. So.
You know what's funny, Nick? No one's brought up Wisconsin, Nebraska at all. I'm surprised that no one's brought
Nebraska's
it up. Nebraska's
terrible.
Yeah, but they're getting some money in this game. 11.5.
I can't endorse betting on Nebraska.
I wouldn't bet on them. What does the model say though?
Model has Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
But it has Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's locked up, right? They have.
It's also Brad Davison's 18th senior night tonight.
That's funny. Actually, Wisconsin has to win, I think, to keep the one spot.
Yeah, a win guarantees the one spot.
Did they beat Illinois already?
I mean, they won it outright.
Yeah.
Right? No, they lost to Illinois in the only time they played.
So they need a win here.
They need a win. But,
Okay.
I mean, winning and covering double digits is two completely different stories.
Absolutely. I mean, the Colts needed a win against the Jaguars, and 17-point favorites. Nick, we saw what happened there.
Yeah.
And Duke, right? Oh, they're not going to lose. It's Coach K's. Yeah.
No, the,
So,
the nerves were there.
yeah. Nick, do you remember, and we can leave on this after this, but do you remember when I brought something up about, like, the emotions of head coaching and, like, when there's, like, those, I think it was Chris Beard, we were talking about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how I'm like, it can really affect a head coach because Coach K, like one of the best coaches of all time, he's seen it all, right? But he hasn't seen that. Sometimes, like, I mean, as a head coach, the emotions, they can get to you and the way that affects you and how your decision process goes and the preparation up to that game. It's always interesting.
Duke just doesn't care about Coach K.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Stu just comes up. He's like, come on, man. The Colts. That's funny.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Houston, 6 turnovers in the first 6 minutes and 21 seconds. So
What is the live total?
Memphis has twice as many shot attempts as Houston. That's not a recipe for success.
That is not.
Also,
Let's see
Houston
here.
has 2 guys with 2 fouls already. Yeah, this
What?
this looks like Memphis might run away with this.
What was the total again? Pre-game?
Pre-game total was 137.
$140 right now. Okay. I was just curious. Ooh, Longwood, though. Woo-wee. And boys. They say Winthrop.
Damn, they're up 11.
Nick, if I was on Longwood, I would talk shit and be like,
Yeah,
You don't have Pat
you know
Kelsey.
what the common factor is right now in this Houston game and this Winthrop game?
turnovers. Yeah.
I think this Houston team is actually really going to struggle in March. They might be a team that I have going out early. I
How do you feel
don't
about-
necessarily think that they're a team that will lose in the first round, just because the athleticism is off the charts and they'll dominate like a worse team. But in like the second round against a good defensive team that can force the turnovers and chew the clock, might be tough for them.
Nick, how do you feel about Providence right now? Just, are you buying or selling as of right now?
I
What we
mean,
know about-
it really like, what is the perception of Providence? Where am I buying or selling them at?
I'm selling them.
Yeah, I mean,
I
are
guess.
they?
There's a lot of hype on them right now,
Yeah,
as of now.
I
right?
mean, they've got good guard play. Nate Watson is a monster inside. I mean, that's the inside-outside combination. They've got several scorers. Good rebounding team. I don't think that they're the type of team that's going to get upset. They seem like a very safe first-round team, I would say.
4 seed right now, at least that's what they project them as.
Yeah, 4 seed against
13.
yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably win the first round. Oh man, I'm so excited for March Madness.
I cannot wait.
Nick, should we need to start hyping up the guide? Should we make a little small announcement on it?
Yeah. Do you want to do
those
that,
who
or
are
do you want
still
me
in
to
there?
do that?
You start it off, and then I'll cover some points.
Okay, so I don't know how many people here have been with Capwise in some way, shape, or form, just in our sphere since last year. But last year, we made a very comprehensive March Madness betting guide, and we're doing the same thing again this year. So I guess this is the first announcement of that. It was really cool last year. I know Larry said the guide is awesome. So here's kind of what it entailed last year. So last year, we had full page-long previews for every single team in March with team stats, talking about players and coaches and all that jazz, plus betting insights and trends and things along those lines. It was I thought it was an awesome product. So we're making it again this year, and it's going to be even better. So we have some help this year. We have the guys at Sportfolio Kings, who you may or may not be aware of. If you're not aware of them, you should definitely go check them out.
You will be. They will be.
These guys are gonna. Oops! I just fucked stuff up.
Yeah, I'm buying their stock, Nick.
Yeah, they're going to blow up in this space. They're just incredibly smart, doing things that nobody else is doing. So their background is they're finance guys. So it's more the market side of sports betting. And it was I don't quite know how to even describe it fully.
I would put it this way, Nick. They're like the market analysis pros for the financial stock world, but they're going to take that knowledge and just basically fill it in with sports betting, more or less. And they are actively doing that. Yeah.
Also, you may know them better, or at least Brett, as the guy who does all of the graphic stuff for the surgical stream. As far as like people's records are concerned and the top 20 lists and stuff.
Yep.
So we have a whole section in the guide for stuff with them, as well as there's going to be several pages in the preface for stuff like shot charts for every team. As one thing I know for sure, plus probably other stuff. We're still hammering out all of the details, but that will be releasing a week from today. I think the plan this year is to get that out the night of Selection Sunday. So I don't think I don't think that we have a link at this point to purchase it, but the pre-order will be starting at some point today.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow, Nick, I think one way or another, we're probably going to stream tomorrow.
Yeah. That's a good thing to talk about. So Data, who's usually on for Model Mondays, will not be available tomorrow. He's got work obligations at the stream time. So Ben, it might be you again.
Yeah. You guys like me, right?
Not really, but
we'll get what about we get Delberto on next week?
I don't know. We had to book him like way in advance last time.
Yeah. Hopefully he can.
It might just be a lot of you and me this week.
Ooh, I'm not going to say their name, but we could get a special person on outside of the typical rotation.
That'd be interesting. I don't know.
But I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to come out and say.
I have no idea who you're talking about. Peyton Manning.
Special guest, Peyton Manning. What if it's just this random guy from like Arkansas named Peyton Manning who is just this college kid at like South Alabama?
We have Peyton Manning at home.
Yep.
So do we do this discussion every day at noon? Somebody asks. The typical schedule is on the weekends. So I mean, the Sunday stream was kind of impromptu. We usually don't stream on Sundays. But Saturdays, it's 11 a.m. Eastern, just kind of in the hour running up to the games. And then throughout the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time.
I will say this, and Nick will iron out the details. The week of March Madness is going to be a little different.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be in Vegas for March Madness. So
yeah,
a lot of the actual streaming content details are very, very much up in the air.
Yeah, but what I'm doing right now is building out the schedule for this week, and then next week I'll do the same. So Monday morning of March Madness, you'll have the schedule where you can find us. Obviously, there's going to be a lot to go through. I think we'll have more stream content, but it's going to be in different times. And then also what Nick and I did last year, which was great content and super fun and valuable, is we're going to go fill out our brackets like live, which was really fun. So
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And then the one last thing, Nick, on the point of March Madness.
Yeah.
We're also doing something super fun. It's called a viral contest, and we're giving away $600 worth of prizes in total. And basically, you get points for doing certain tasks, like just opting into like the email, sharing certain links. So it's not anything coming out of your pocket. And then at the end of March Madness, whoever has the most points will get the grand prize. And the cool thing, too, is we have prizes all the way up to the top 10 places. So it's not just one grand prize. You could still get a free T-shirt. We're going to give away some free subscriptions to Capwise. And the first place prize, I believe, is a $200 prize package, like a sporting event. So it's kind of like you can choose any sort of game you want to go to. Could be minor league baseball. It could be anything, really. Curling league, I guess, if you want to watch some, like... Do they have, like, semi-pro curling?
Probably.
Yeah. So anything, whether it's an NBA game or whatever. So that's going to be the grand prize, and we'll have more details coming probably tomorrow on that.
Yeah. So see, a basketball question. Hunter Dickinson is out. I don't want to touch that game.
Yeah. Again, we've said it. You don't have to bet every game. Stay away. Sometimes that's the best bet you make.
Yeah, and the question with injuries is always not. It's not like Dickinson is out. We have to bet Ohio State. It's did the line move too much, too little, or just right in response to the Dickinson injury? Like, how many points is he worth? And that's not a question that I have an answer to right off the top of my head.
And the line probably already moved, so it's not like you're, oh, he's out, I'm going to get good value.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that the line didn't move enough in response to the injury, then you take Ohio State.
Nick, for example, FanDuel at 10:16, so 14 minutes ago, 12:16 on the East Coast, the line was 4.5. Right now it's 6. So within 13 minutes, right, it just shows you that's almost a 2-point move. Right? This stuff happens so quick. So just don't chase. If I always say, like, a good rule of thumb is if there's an injury that comes out and the news is out and the line moves, you probably shouldn't chase it. More times than not.
Yeah, I mean, unless you do really feel confident that the line didn't move enough.
Yep. 100%. Alrighty, I'm going to go watch some of these games, Nick, and actually, we need to chat too after this, but I appreciate everyone hopping on, and we'll be on tomorrow. And yeah, just make sure you're following our Twitter or in the Discord, where we're going to post the link or just the visual of the schedule for the stream for next week.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Good luck with the bets, everyone. Take it easy. Have a nice,
See ya.
relaxing Sunday.